Welcome to our daily Forex market analysis, and this is for trading on August the 11th, 2021. Just a quick disclaimer here before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. Trading is a risky business, so please be careful with your money. As usual, we'll start off by taking a look at our calendar first. So in terms of the news that's coming up, the most important thing here will be the CPI numbers, the inflation numbers out of the US. So one of the big concerns has been around inflation, the cost of everything going up. And if the inflation numbers are higher than expected, that will be good for the US dollar and not as great for the stock market, because a market will then expect the Fed to raise rates or cut back on the monetary policy, or cut back on the asset purchase program, so tighten the monetary policy. So we'll keep an eye on that. That will have an impact. And then in addition to that, we do have crude oil inventories, which will impact oil. So if there's a drawdown, which will be positive for oil, but if there's a buildup in inventories, which will be negative for oil. Oil already has been a bit on the back foot here because of concerns around COVID, the new Delta variant. If the demand goes down, that is negative for price of oil. So things shutting down is not good for oil. Other than that, we have heard from many Fed members, and we continue that any kind of comments in regards to tapering of the monetary policy, tapering of the asset purchase program or tightening of the monetary policy will be positive for the US dollar. But if we hear that they're going to continue to wait and see how things go and likely not going to raise rates anytime soon, all those things will be a negative for the US dollar, but positive for the stock market. So those are the main things. We do have the balance, the budget balance here as well. Of course, we would expect big deficit here. If it's bigger than expected, that would be negative for the US dollar again. Other than that, we have inflation numbers also for New Zealand as well, and any kind of number that is higher than the previous number will be positive for New Zealand dollar as well. All right, so let's go on to our charts here. We'll start off with euro dollar. With the euro, we were expecting a drop. We did get that, but now price is coming into an important support resistance level. So we'll have to watch out for that as well. So in this case here, we're looking for 1.1700. It's almost into that support level. This is an important support resistance level. Price has reacted several times, so watch out here. It could turn around. So that will be the major concern. But should it continue through that, then once it breaks out, then we will look for a continuation into 1.1600. But since we've had many days of drop here, things could turn around, so keep that in mind here. So right now, bearish bias with caution though. Pound dollar here, this one, we did see a drop. Price has come out of the range that it was trading in for a number of days. Now it did go and retest the bottom of the range, and it's held below, which is a good thing. Now we're looking for a further drop here. So bias here is bearish. 1.3800 is the first target, and next target is 1.3750. So bias here is bearish for pound dollar. Aussie dollar, this one came into the support and bounced off of that level. Now it's back into the range here. I'm looking for it to move higher. So neutral bias here. We'll look for a potential move towards 0.7370, and this is where it could come back down again. Right now, overall, though, this is a range-bound move. Price is still in the range, so bias is neutral. I'm expecting it to go towards the middle of the range, and then we'll see if it can make it to all the way to the top or not. So right now, neutral bias here, expecting a move between 0.7420 and 0.7320. New Zealand dollar, this one as well dropped and then bounced off of that support level. Now looking for a move higher up towards 0.7025. And this is where this one could turn around as well. Again, this is a level where price has reacted several times. So keep it in mind. Right now, neutral bias looking for a move overall within this range. So neutral bias first target is 0.7025 and then potentially into 0.7040 here. Dollar CAD, big drop off of the resistance here, bearish engulfing candle close. This was a big resistance. We talked about how price was not able to break the resistance 2 days in a row. And today we got a bearish engulfing candle close. So looking for a drop. The only thing to keep in mind here for Canadian dollar would be oil price. If the oil inventories show a buildup, that will be negative for the oil, which means it will be negative for Canadian dollar, which could cause dollar CAD to go up. But aside from that, based on just technicals alone here, bias is bearish. 1.2470 is the first target, and second target is 1.2525. So bearish bias for dollar CAD. All right, so looking at silver here, silver hasn't really done much after that big volatile move. It's still holding below this level, so we could see a bit more of a drop here. Not expecting a big drop, maybe a slight one here. Next target for silver is 23.00 and potentially 22.50. So bearish bias again with caution after such a volatile move. Gold here, gold not doing a whole lot. At this point, price is reacting at the support level. With this one, I'm looking for it to retest the low, but watch for it to turn back up. So neutral bias for gold. I would look for retest lower, but watch out for that turnaround. So neutral bias for gold. Oil here, oil did a nice turnaround. We had talked about how it was into support, big pin bar in the bottom. So now we got that rebound. Next target is 70.00. So bullish bias for oil here. Copper also looking bullish here. First target is 4.36. So again, it had bounced off of that support level. 4.36 is first target, 4.40 is the next target. So bullish bias here for copper. Bitcoin here, Bitcoin struggling a bit. It's into that major support resistance level. Again, price has reacted here. This is where it pulled back into before it drops, and now we're back here. And today's candle close is completely neutral, which means we could see a drop. So watch out for that. Target here is 43,250. So neutral bias for Bitcoin here. S&P 500 still struggling with that resistance here. Hasn't done much over the last few days. So neutral bias again. We could see a turnaround. So keep that in mind. It is holding up there, and which means that it could break out as well. Either option is available here. So we'll have to bear that in mind. Right now, bias is neutral and just looking to see if it will come back into the range. So neutral bias for S&P 500. Nasdaq has dropped. As we can see, price has bounced off of that resistance here. Now looking for it to move further down towards 14,850. So bearish bias here for Nasdaq. Dow Jones still moving higher, a very bullish close for the day. Next target here is 35,500. So bullish bias here, looking for a continuation. Watch out though, it's right into resistance. So it could also flip, but for now it's pushing into the resistance. It's holding up there, shows bullishness. So next target is 35,500. DAX also pushing into the highs. Again, it hasn't crossed over yet. It's still into that major resistance here. And at this point, it's holding up there, which means it could go in either direction. So it could go through and we could see a continuation higher. So bullish bias with caution though. And in this case, the next target here is 15,900 and then 16,000. FTSE, big move to the upside here, looking for further move higher. 7180 is the first target, and then we're looking at 7200. So bullish bias here as well. And last one here, Nikkei also looking bullish. And in this case, the first target will be the retest of the high, 28,130. And then next one, 28,250. So bullish bias for Nikkei as well. Overall, it's been trading, it's still trading in this range. So looking for it to go and test the higher levels of the range. All right, so that's it for today. You guys have a wonderful trading day, and I'll be back again tomorrow. Bye for now.